Alright, so I got the next things ready. This is kind of a couple day project. I ordered more of the antenna rotator control wire. 75 feet, I'm going to just splice it in with the 75 feet I already had, or whatever length I had. I think it's 75 feet. So that'll give me enough to get to the end of the yard. I also ordered me quad shielded. That's what I use for my receive antenna loop, is the quad shielded Coax. You'll find us on thejohnnyoshow.com/promotions. You can search for this in the search section of that, just search for Coax and you should find that. This is 50 feet. This has the actual BNC. This is Fat International, which is the same brand of Coax that I've been running. And I've had real good luck with it. It is available through Amazon. The price was about right, like 30 bucks or so. I don't remember exactly. This is 120 feet. And it's got the BNC ends on it. This is the perfect cable to use with those ends for the W6LVP Map Loop antenna. So I'm going to be able to move that antenna even further down the yard and see exactly what will help me. As you saw from the test the other day, getting it moved away from the house has helped it considerably get less noise. So let's do a quick run through of where we're at with all that. When I first got the mag loop, I had so much noise. I could rotate the loop and get rid of the obvious noise, but I had so much noise around my radio nearby that moving the loop further away from the house and stuff like that, I couldn't really distinguish it because it was too much very, very local noise. And by that I mean like devices in the house that were causing interference, stuff like that. So I did get those Palmar Engineer ferrite cores that you can use for RFI filters. Put that on all my wires. That dropped my noise in around my radio tremendously. Now that I've done that, because it dropped my noise level so much for things around my radio that were generating noise and contributing to my issue, I can hear all these subtle little changes by moving the mag loop away from my house, which I couldn't hear before. There was too much right here noise to distinguish a little thing like moving the antenna 30 feet. So that's the first thing from dealing with noise, is put those ferrite cores and just, you wrap your route. There's some of them are ring and some of them are the kind that are half like clamshell. You clip them, and you definitely want to get those. Palmar Engineers, look at their transceiver filters. You definitely want that. That would be the first thing to do. I'm not an affiliate of theirs or anything like that. I saw results, so I'd recommend that. Is just buy that. Buy the kit. They have predefined kits, which is just a bunch of rings and clamshell type ferrite beads that in different quantities depending on the type of radio we're running. Like if you say you have a Flex, they assume, well, because the Flex has a ton of inputs and outputs and antenna feeds and all these options, they're going to give you more in that bundle. That's all it means. And you get a better discount because you're buying a bundle. So I'm actually going to order more. I'm going to order another bundle for my radio just because it's a good variety, because I still have some wires I need to put that on. But get those right away. Get those. That's the first thing. Of course, make sure you've got good grounding and all that's taken care of. That's a given. But then you can look at something like the mag loop, like the noise canceller and such. But I also picked up, in addition to these, a switch box. So I have a little receive only shortwave listening, works like garbage Russian antenna that I bought off eBay. But it's great for picking up noise. So it works great with my MFJ-1026 noise canceller. However, it doesn't pick up exactly the same noise all the time that I need to phase out from my main antenna. Sometimes switching to my mag loop and say I can't turn the noise away with my mag loop, I can turn my mag loop into the noise and get the noise so it completely matches the noise that I'm getting on my big doublet antenna, and then phase that out. So I bought me a crossover switch box, an MFJ crossover switch box, so I can literally take my mag loop antenna, which is antenna 2 on my FlexRadio, and make it become my noise antenna on my MFJ, and then it'll take the shortwave listening Russian antenna, that's my noise antenna on the MFJ, and just throw it over to antenna 2 on my FlexRadio. So I can use it for diversity hearing, or I can switch that mag loop over to use it as a noise canceling antenna with my MFJ by throwing a switch. So this is what I got, this right here. And so for example, right now, 2 to B, so antenna 2, which is slice B, that worked out well, right? Because you got slice A and slice B on your radio. So antenna 2 is my mag loop, antenna 1 is my shortwave listening Russian antenna. And so basically I throw the switch like this, so 1 goes to slice A and 2 goes to slice B. If I throw it the other way, now my mag loop is on this, which is connected to slice A, or antenna 1 on the radio. So I hope that makes sense, but basically it allows me to switch between my mag loop up here is now no longer in diversity mode, running on the second antenna on my radio over there. It's running into here. But if I throw this switch, now my mag loop is running to the second antenna here, and the Russian antenna is used for the noise antenna on my MFJ, allowing me to have some options of what to use for a noise antenna, or just as a diversity antenna, or whatever. I am going to go ahead, I decided I'm going to spend like 30 bucks and get the Bog antenna device that they sell at DX Engineering, because it's 30 bucks. I do not know if a Bog will work if you make it L-shaped, but we'll find out. I don't think it's going to work right, but it's 30-40 bucks. It's a cheap experiment, so we'll give that a shot. And I do think I'm going to get a mag loop send and receive, the MFJ-1788 antenna. I think I'm going to actually put that horizontal at the very top inside my attic. Yeah, probably inside my attic, so it's outside the weather. They said it's not very well built. I'll try it there, and if it doesn't work well, then I can put it right on top of my roof. But the idea is so that it is nulling anything from my house. But it should give me some low angle transmission because of how that antenna is designed if I put it horizontally, which I can't get on 40 meters with my doublet because my doublet is only 30 feet off the ground. So, and it is now a different mag loop, orientated differently, which I will also put that in all this switching stuff, which I'll show you as I go forward. But I'll have all these options that I can choose from, and that hasn't having, and then I haven't even still jumped to the fact that I have an extra two extra receive antenna inputs on the back of the radio in addition to the main antenna inputs. So I got antenna inputs coming out my ears. Might as well use them all. All right, so I'm going to run those cables tomorrow and move my W6LVP antenna, receive only mag loop antenna, to the end of my yard and find the best spot for that to see how much noise elimination we can get. And the radio here, the Flex, because I can have 2 pan adapters up, I think will give us a great opportunity so you can see how the Russian antenna does, how the W6LVP antenna does, how the MFJ noise canceller does with the Russian antenna or with the magnetic loop receive only antenna. All right, see you tomorrow. Okay, well, it snowed and it's cold, but I did manage to get the antenna moved out to there, and that does help me null out some things a little better. I can actually go higher, and it seemed to work. I'm gonna have to get a pole and attach it to the fence and put it so it's above the fence. But it did seem to work. When I raised it higher, it even did a little better, which I'm confused on. So I'll have to research that a little bit. I didn't get a chance to extend the rotator wire yet because it snowed, but I got plenty of coax to go clear back to the back. Problem is, at some point I'm getting closer to telephone lines and other houses. So I don't, and I think there's a transformer over on that, but maybe not. But I don't want to, end up moving far away from my house and end up moving too close to another house. So, it may end up right there, and then I'll just put a pole and raise it so it's above the fence and more level with my house. That didn't seem to affect it adversely, which I'm a little confused on. All right, so I can't seem to get a situation where I have noise on top of somebody actually transmitting to show you this. So I'm gonna simulate it. I found some noise and I found some people talking. And so I've got both slices going. Let's put them both at the same gain level. All right, put this at 50. Turn this back on. Put this at 50. Turn them both to 80%. All right, so there you go. If you had noise sitting on top of somebody talking, that's what you'd be up against. That's what I'm dealing with my doublet. Let's go ahead and switch on the noise canceller. And right now, both antennas are turned down. This is my main antenna. This is the shortwave listening antenna I got off eBay that was from Russia. And you're going to hear, in this particular case, that shortwave listening antenna is not getting any of that noise. It's not there. So it's not going to cancel it out. It's not going to do me any good. It can't help me. But here we go again with my doublet. I turn it up. There's the noise sitting on it. The shortwave listening antenna isn't going to help me as a noise canceller. Now, so you say, well, no big deal. Throw it to a mag loop, and then you can just rotate it out. Let's go ahead and try that. Let's go ahead and go to antenna 2, which is my mag loop. All right. So now we're on antenna 2. And yeah, you see the noise is much less now, right? I can in fact probably get rid of it completely. I'm just rotating the antenna. Let's go ahead and rotate that noise out completely. Okay. Right about there. Noise is out completely, but let's see if they start talking. Come on. The biggest thing I want you to notice is look at this. The noise is out, but in this particular case, it really reduced the gain on the actual signal we want to hear. Here, let's go to these people that we can hear. So watch as I turn into the noise on the mag loop. So the direction I could turn my mag loop normally would be, if there was no noise, that would be the best position. But as you can see, this noise in the best position to hear their voice is also the best position to get that noise. So imagine if that noise was on top of them, you still got noise. The best able to hear them, you're going to have the noise. And again, if I turn away from the noise on the mag loop, I'm going to turn away from it. Now the noise is gone, but so is the gain on their signal, because I've increased all I've really done is increase the noise for it. So let's go ahead and turn the mag loop now to the most dominant noise level. And this is why I say if you can't do diversity mode, but you have a noise canceller, you still want a mag loop, and you want to use your mag loop as your noise antenna. You can always just turn down your main and just use your mag loop and turn away from the noise if you want. But if you've got a situation like this, where this clearly brings their signal up, but it also brings up the noise, how do you fix it? Let's go ahead and throw my cross switch, which is going to take the Russian antenna offline, and it's moved my mag loop over to my noise antenna on my noise canceller. Let's go ahead and switch this back to antenna 1. Now you're hearing my mag loop. I'll turn down my main, turn up my mag loop. There's the mag loop. But watch this. Let's bring my main in. Basically, I'm adjusting this. There we go. So turn my main just right, turn my mag loop, and you can hear it. Turn my mag loop just right. There you go. Look at that. Now I know this comes through the camera, but I think you can see it. Look at their signal. Look at their signal. I've got the noise gone, but look at their signal. It's still strong. I hope this makes sense. And I had people argue this point with me before, but I'm telling you, I'm right. I'm not trying to sound arrogant, but I'm right. The situation you have here is you've got a couple scenarios. You can take the mag loop, turn it so it lowers your noise floor to the lowest, and that generally will get the noise floor across the board. And that generally will give you really good audio, really good signal to noise ratio. But if you have noise coming in from some direction, nulling it out may not always be what you want to do. In this particular example, like I say, I had to put the noise on top of the signal because I didn't happen to have any noise coming in where people were talking to show you, so I simulated it. But if you have noise coming in and that noise happens to be coming from the same direction you need to hear the signal, turning away from the noise and nulling it out is also going to null out your signal, and you're not going to gain anything. However, you can take the mag loop and tune it exactly for the noise at its highest point, so it matches your transmit antenna, the main antenna, perfectly. And then you can cancel it out perfectly with your MFJ noise canceller. And when you do that, you will not lose the signal you want to hear. So what I have here is the ability to, if the signal is generally so strong that I cannot tune it out effectively with my mag loop, I can switch my mag loop over to be my noise antenna for my MFJ noise canceling device and tune it towards the noise so it perfectly matches the main, and then use the MFJ to phase it out perfectly and keep the signal I want. If the noise is of a situation to where I can tune it out with my mag loop and not affect the signal I want to hear, then I keep my mag loop as my second antenna for diversity mode. And then I just use that, because if that's doing the job by itself, there's no need to use the noise canceller. But then I switch to look at my noise canceling device, my MFJ. I've got the Russian antenna as a noise antenna, and if it does pick up the same noise that my main is getting, I go ahead and cancel out the noise with my MFJ. So now I have a fairly decent signal on antenna 1 using the noise canceller, and a fairly decent signal on antenna 2 using the magnetic loop turned to where I need it to be. But in those situations where the noise is coming from, or appears to be coming from, the same direction as the signal you want to get, and where there's no way to effectively tune it out with the mag loop, so the nulls aren't helping you, and the Russian shortwave listening antenna is not picking up that same noise, but not really picking up signal, because it's really just good for picking up noise. The antenna sucks. The option would be throw the switch box, use the magnetic loop for the noise canceling. So here it is with a stronger signal. Again, this is just the mains. So there's the mains. That's just the main antenna. That's what you'd have to listen to. All right, so now let's go ahead and null out the mag loop to see how it does. We turn it here until the noise goes away. So this is just the mag loop. The main is turned down, so it's not using the noise canceller on the MFJ at all. All right, so there we go. Noise is pretty well gone. You can hear them pretty well. But could you do better? You see that their signal has dropped drastically to get rid of that noise. So again, let's go ahead and turn towards the noise. Get it as strong as it can get. That's about right. Now, let's go ahead and bring the main up and phase this out. There you go. Look at that. That's using the mag loop as a noise antenna turned towards the noise and then phasing it out with the MFJ. So this is my mag loop combined with my main. And you can clearly see the noise is gone, but the signal from the people talking is stronger, much stronger than using the mag loop in this particular scenario to cancel out the noise. Now, again, let's throw the switch back to my Russian noise antenna. And let's just turn down my main. And as you can see, this is what it gets. It doesn't get that noise at all. This is just the Russian antenna. It doesn't get that noise. So the Russian antenna would not help to remove that noise. So we can't use it. Let's throw back to the mag loop, my cross switch. It'll take my mag loop off. So, and now we'll phase it out.
Things seem to be going okay there.
There you go. And like I say, if we nulled it out with just the mag loop, it wouldn't be as good. All right, so there you go. Like I say, this is what I'd have normally. If that noise was sitting on top of those guys, that's what you would have. And if it was the mag loop its own, I'm just to the mag loop now. Let's go ahead and rotate away from the noise. And as you can see, he's lost, it's dropped. His signal has dropped. It's not as clear as it was before. That's how clear it would be. Now go ahead and rotate towards the noise. Phase it out. There you go. That's with the noise canceller, with the mag loop, phasing it out. So now you can kind of compare the two. That's pretty good.